When they were in the garden, and while Jesus was still speaking, suddenly a crowd came, and the one called Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. He approached Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus said to him, "Judas, is it with a kiss that you are betraying the Son of Man?" When those who were around him saw what was coming, they asked, "Lord, should we strike with the sword?" Then one of them struck the slave of the high priest and cut off his right ear. But Jesus said, "No more of this." And he touched his ear and healed him. Then Jesus said to the chief priests and the officers of the temple police and the elders who came for him, "Have you come out with swords and clubs as if I were a bandit? When I was with you day after day in the temple, you did not lay hands on me. But this is your hour and the power of darkness."
Then they seized him and led him away, bringing him into the high priest's house. But Peter was following at a distance. When they had kindled a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat down together, Peter sat among them. Then a servant girl, seeing him in the firelight, stared at him and said, "This man was also with him." But he denied it, saying, "Woman, I do not know him." A little later, someone else, on seeing him, said, "You also are one of them." But Peter said, "Man, I am not." Then, about an hour later, still another kept insisting, "Surely this man also was with him, for he is a Galilean." But Peter said, "Man, I do not know what you are talking about." At that moment, while he was still speaking, the cock crowed. The Lord turned and looked at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he had said to him, "Before the cock crows today, you will deny me 3 times." And he went out and wept bitterly.
The assembly of the elders of the people, both chief priests and scribes, gathered together, and they brought him to their council. They brought Jesus before Pilate. They began to accuse him. Then Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered, "You say so." Then Pilate said to the chief priests and the crowds, "I find no basis for an accusation against this man." But they were insistent and said, "He stirs up the people by teaching throughout all Judea, from Galilee, where he began, even to this place." When Pilate heard this, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. And when he learned that he was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him off to Herod, who was himself in Jerusalem at the time. When Herod saw Jesus, he questioned him at some length, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and the scribes stood by, vehemently accusing him. Even Herod, with his soldiers, treated him with contempt and mocked him. Then he put an elegant robe on him and sent him back to Pilate. Pilate then called together the chief priests, the leaders, and the people, and said to them, "I have examined him in your presence and have not found this man guilty of any of your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us. Indeed, he has done nothing to deserve death." But the people all shouted out together, "Away with this fellow! Release Barabbas for us." Pilate, wanting to release Jesus, addressed them again. But they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" A third time, he said to them, "Why? What evil has he done? I have found in him no ground for the sentence of death." But they kept urgently demanding, with loud shouts, that he should be crucified, and their voices prevailed. So Pilate gave his verdict that their demand should be granted. He released the man they asked for, and he handed Jesus over as they wished.
As they led him away, they seized a man, Simon of Cyrene, who was coming from the country, and they laid the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A great number of the people followed him. 2 others also, who were criminals, were led away to be put to death with him. When they came to the place that is called the Skull, they crucified Jesus there with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. Then Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they cast lots to divide his clothing. And the people stood by watching, but the leaders scoffed at him, saying, "He saved us. Let him save himself, if he is the Messiah of God, his chosen one." The soldiers also mocked him, coming up and offering him sour wine and saying, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was also an inscription over him. It read, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who were hanging there kept deriding him and saying, "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of commendation. And we indeed have been condemned justly, for we are getting what we deserve for our deeds, but this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And he replied, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise."
My God, why have you abandoned me? My God, I have cried so desperately, still there is no help for me. I call out to you each night and day. You don't answer anything I say. It was you who brought me here at birth. Now where are you on this troubled earth? My God, why have you abandoned me? My God, I have cried so desperately, still there is no help for me. My strength is gone like water on the ground. My bones for flesh that can't be found. My throat is dry, my tongue sticks to my mouth. I am dying, there is no way out. My God, why have you abandoned me? My God, I have cried so desperately, still there is is no help for me. I am helpless before my enemies. Come now quickly, come and rescue me. I will tell my people what you've done, that your love can save us everyone. My God, why have you abandoned me? My God, I have cried so desperately, still there is no help for me.
It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 p.m. While the sun's light failed, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two, then Jesus, crying in a loud voice, said, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Having said this, he breathed his last. Then they took Jesus down from the cross and laid him in the tomb. A shapeless piece of steel, that's all I claim to be. The hammer pounds to give me form, this flame that melts my dreams. I glow with fire and fury. I'm twisted like a vine. My final shape, my final form, I'm sure I'm bound to find. Our theme for Lent has been love, period. We have learned from Matthew 25 to love the hungry, to love the thirsty, to love the stranger, to love the poor and naked, to love the sick, to love the imprisoned. In our Lenten journey, we have come before God with leather, wristbands, keychains. And the hammer has stamped an impression reminding us to love, period. On one hand, the hammer is disruptive, loud, and even painful. On the other hand, the hammer gives shape and form and leaves an impression of love. Tonight, during our special music, you will be invited forward to finish this Lenten journey, to come forward and receive a stamp, an impression of the cross. Like the hammer, the cross is disruptive, loud, and painful. On the other hand, the cross gives shape and form and leaves an impression of love. And so, during the song, you will be invited to come down the center aisle to receive your final stamp and return on the outside aisle. If you've already received a wristband or a keychain on our Wednesday night worship services, you can use that. If you've not received a wristband or a keychain, they are available as you come forward. come forward under the direction of the ushers. A shapeless piece of steel, that's all I claim to be. This hammer pounds to give me form, its flame melts my dreams. I glow with fire and fury, I'm twisted like a vine. My final shape, my final form, I'm sure I'm bound to find. So dream a little dream for me, in hopes that I'll remain. Cry a little cry for me, that I may bear the flame. Hurt a little hurt for me, my future is untold, but my dreams are not the issue here, for they the hammer holds. The hammer pounds again, the flames I do not feel. This force that drives me helplessly through flesh and wood reveal. A burn that burns much deeper, it's more than I can stand. The reason for the hammer is to take a life of a guiltless man. So dream a little dream for me, in hopes that I'll remain. And cry a little cry for me, that I may bear the flame. Hurt a little hurt for me, my future is untold, but my dreams are not the issue here. For thee